So today, obviously we're making a very sad video. In an unfortunate accident last week, I wrecked the 4Runner pretty badly. I don't know the extent of said damage. I don't know how bad the body is tweaked on the frame. I know the rear axle's a little sideways. I know the body damage is pretty substantial, as you can tell from the front. The passenger crash bar is pushed in because it popped out the key piece that goes around the key. Nothing lines up like it should. So I'm actually about to pull the motor and transmission and sell it. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna start. This is part of the reason I'm filming this video, is to take that out. But you know what? There's a little bit of sadness here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and swap it for a V8. And I know a lot of y'all are probably like, you are crazy, boy. And yeah, I am. But I love this freaking truck. I love it. I don't care what it looks like, obviously. It needs a little bit of pullage and a little bit of tweaking. But I think it's time to retire for her from roadworthy to trail-worthy. So I'm thinking of making this not just to like drive around, obviously, but as more of a off-road rig that goes on a trailer. That's the plan right now. I still haven't made up my mind on so many different things. I don't know how bad the bolts are tweaked for the body lift. I don't know how bad the frame is sitting. I just know of two spots that are pretty rough. If you come around to this side, I mean, you know, you don't need glass on an off-road rig. The only two spots that are tweaked on the frame that I could see were right there. And then there's another spot right up in here somewhere. What's up, Sammy Shams? So, let's go ahead and start taking some pieces and parts off of this. The time lapse wasn't going well, so I'm gonna actually set y'all up there and talk to y'all while I start taking things apart. First, obviously, I pull the airbox off. I got a guy coming tomorrow to buy the whole motor, so I'm pulling the whole motor. Not tonight, but I'm pulling the whole motor because it's supposed to be freaking cold tonight. So, airbox off, wires, heater hoses, little wires, stuff like that. Pulling it off. Let's get y'all swapped around. Sorry about the glare. Y'all are in the light. Hopefully y'all can see me. So yeah, I was in a car accident. Unfortunately, this is not my first, but I was headed to work, and if you can't tell by the high-vis shirts, I work construction, so I'm up pretty freaking early in the mornings, and I am pretty late getting home. So I was headed to my buddy's house, which is where I go in the mornings to get to work because he drives me. Thank you. And it was like 5 in the morning, 5:30. And unfortunately, I fell asleep while I was driving. Dozed off, fell asleep, whatever. And so I kind of went into a ditch. And when I went into the ditch, I tried to pull it out, but I didn't pull it out in time, and I ended up going against the tree. Well, there goes the light. That was fun while it lasted. And, oh shoot. That was a bunch of coolant. No light. Be right back. Alright, so I can show you what I just did. I pulled the freaking radiator and it was full, which I guess it doesn't really matter because it's just going in the grass anyways. But yeah, trying to get the radiator undone. Didn't go in my favor. Be right back. Gotta grab some other stuff. Okay, back to story time. I know y'all probably can't see me, but we're gonna see how long this light lasts, which I don't think it's gonna be that long. But yeah, I was headed to work way too early, dozed off, and the rest is history. I'm okay. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. But 4Runner unfortunately has a few dings, dents, and bruises, which she's used to, but new ones, unfortunately. And as I'm pondering what to do with said 4Runner, I have no idea what to do with it. I thought about it a lot, and I think I've made up my mind. I know I said I don't know what I want to do with it, but I think I figured it out. I think I'm going to keep it. Because after talking with our buddy Robert, who you all know lost his Jeep last year in the fire, Robert said some days he wishes that he at least had the base for it to rebuild. And, you know, that hit me pretty hard because unfortunately he doesn't have that opportunity. And yeah, this is my first car, but I also want to keep it and keep playing with it and toying with it. And yeah, I got the first gen, but it's just not the same, you know. Your first car is something dear to you yourself because it's your first car. Taylor's first car is the Blazer, and that's why it's in our yard, and that's why we're slowly working on it. And you've seen it in the videos, but you know, it's one of those things that you don't want to lose. One of those things that you kind of hold dear to you, especially as, you know, mechanically inclined as we are, is something that we try not to abuse and lose. Unfortunately, I abused it a little too hard when I first got this car. My dad actually helped me pay for it a little bit, and he said, you can't do anything to that truck until I get paid. So I said, yes sir, absolutely. Next week I put in a stereo system, and that was all that I did until I paid it off. But you know, it's one of those things that makes me look back and laugh on it, because I really didn't think that how far I'd have it, how long I'd have it, and stuff like that. But yeah, I really just love this car. That's all I can say about it. It's something dear to me that I've always worked on, where I've learned so much mechanical fundamentals on, and I don't want all that to go to waste, which I don't plan on it, because this is now a new toy that I plan on building up to something better and learning on even more as I prepare for the engine swap. Yes, it's not exactly how I wanted the engine swap to go, obviously, but like I said, it's something I can learn from. And with this guy picking up the engine tomorrow, I'll have a clean slate, well, sort of clean slate to play with. Plus, I'm not on a time constraint because I got the little Toyota pick-em-up truck, and that is definitely a huge up that I have. And that means I can just work a little bit more, save up a little bit more cash, buy the right parts that I want for it. A little bit new suspension setup, a little bit new wiring harnesses and such for the swap. That way I don't have to worry about, you know, all the little things that come with the swap, and I can actually take my time and figure out what's going on with it, which is something that I need to do, because obviously I have a lot of love for this truck, and we're going to keep on trucking with, no pun intended there, keep on going with it, keep on trucking with it, and figure out what I can do next with it. Now, yes, it may not ever see the road again, because she's a little beat, if you couldn't tell. Now, the biggest fear that I have about doing this swap is my body. Now, I've never actually done a lot of body work. Obviously, y'all can tell from the videos. Body work is not my expertise, but we're gonna play with it and see what I can come up with. And plus, this doesn't have to be beautiful. I just gotta pull some dings and dents and make it workable, and that is the whole goal. Now, with that being said, don't know where to go next. I think alternator and starter is what I'm going with next. But I really need to be underneath the truck for that. I'm gonna keep working. We'll check in in the morning. So y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all in the morning. And in the meantime, I've been driving this 1992, gracious. Just a little Toyota pick 'em up truck. Pretty clean on the inside. Make sure dog don't eat my Reese's. Pretty clean on the inside, not too terrible. But let's get back to that. Well, it's currently the next day. Reached out to the guy, he didn't want the motor, so we're gonna change course. We're actually gonna start pulling suspension parts, because that suspension's good. We have to find out if that coil's good. That coil's good. Get on around here. And y'all saw I dug that, and that one's still good. So I'm gonna try to get all the suspension off of it and either sell it. Yeah, it's not either. I am gonna sell it because it's still good. I mean, it's a little bit worn. Needs a good bath, but we're gonna go ahead and get all that pulled off, which is pretty simple. So if we go back down here, obviously we just got that one nut bolt and 3 up top. So I'm not super concerned with it. It should be pretty simple. So let's get it on off. So there we have it. Quick, simple, not that bad. There's 2 bolts. That one bolt, that's a 1915 because they're aftermarket Toy Tech coilovers with Bilstein 5100s. These I just got out of a 400 LKQ that gave me a 3-inch lift. And they're unbranded, so I have no idea what they are. Obviously, that's garbage. I gotta pull that off. Y'all saw how I had this kind of rigged up. Don't do that. I had these, I was gonna make a table out of them, but they make great jack stands because I only have 2 and one's underneath the first gen, which is exactly why I pulled the tires off. I'm actually gonna go get one of these tires on the first gen so that way I can pull it out and drive it around a little bit since it's so cold, to get it running a little bit and get it jumped off. But yeah, suspension off. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Come back next week, check in with us. Maybe we'll pull this. Not sure yet. Still working on somebody to buy it. I'm not gonna pull it unless it's bought. So we'll catch y'all next week at a Shaggy's, a shopping.